Welcome, dear viewers. You're still watching us on ERi-TV, presenting you the domestic and international news prepared for this session live from our headquarters in Asmara. I'm Hermela Gramay, inviting you to join us on our tonight's news broadcast. Let's start with the major headlines. Tour to development sites in the southern region. Greening campaign in the Amhara sub-zone. The M23 rebels killed 140 civilians in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. And trade volume between China and SOC member states increased. On our detailed domestic news, the cultural troupe of the Southern Red Sea region that participated in the National Festival 2025 conducted a tour of development sites in the southern region. The program was also joined by athletes who took part in the Under-17 football competitions organized by the National Football Federation. During their visit to the Logo and Misilam dams, the participants were briefed by Mr. Getachew Merhatsen, head of the Cartographic and Information Center, regarding the construction of the dams, the amount of water they have collected, and future programs. Highlighting the contribution of the solar system installed at the Misilam Dam in supporting all activities in the area, Mr. Getachew said that similar programs will be carried out across the region, particularly in the southern Red Sea region. The group also visited activities being carried out in Halhale by the Crops and Livestock Corporation, including a dairy farm and nursery. They were briefed by Major Kibrab Abraham on the short and long-term plans of the project, as well as efforts to enhance human development capacity. Expressing satisfaction at the witnessing firsthand the promising developmental efforts underway, the participants called for the continuation of such programs to broaden understanding of the development initiatives being implemented. Coordinators of the Student Summer Work Program in the Amhara sub-zone reported that over 115,000 tree seedlings have been planted through the initiative. According to information from the education branch in the sub-zone, the program was carried out by 945 students, coordinated by teachers and agricultural experts from 7 centers in collaboration with local residents. Mrs. Rigba Kifla, head of education office in the sub-zone, attributed the success of the program to the guidance of agricultural experts and the strong participation of students and the public. She also called for sustained follow-up to ensure the survival and continuity of the trees planted. Mr. Yamana Abera, administrator of the sub-zone, commended the Forestry and Wildlife Corporation for the supplying seedlings on time and praised the participants for their strong involvement. Similarly, members of the National Union of Eritrean Women branch in the Central Region, together with members of the Union in Sarja'a sub-zone, conducted a tree planting campaign from 6 to 20 August in the Mbarho area. Mrs. Alam Belay, head of the Union branch in the Central Region, said that the branch has been conducted popular campaigns in the area since 2010. Mrs. Takh Agoitom, head of the Union branch in the Sarja'a sub-zone, added that the various types of trees previously planted are in good condition. Members of the PFDJ from various subzones of Asmara voluntarily donated blood on 19th and 20th August to enrich the blood supply of the National Blood Transfusion Service. Participants were from the subzones of Sambel, Godaif, Gajarat, Tsatsarat, and Arba'at Asmara. Mr. Taghla Habte, coordinator of organization and promotion at the National Voluntary Blood Donors Association, commended the voluntary blood donors in the Central Region for their regular contributions and called on others to follow their noble example, noting that PFDJ organizations in the Central Region have made voluntary blood donation a regular yearly activity. Mr. Shumendi Andamaram, head of administrative affairs at the PFDJ office in the Central Region, expressed readiness to continue the program sustainably. Dear viewers, stay tuned for our international news right after the short break. Welcome back. At least 140 civilians were killed by M23 rebels in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, according to a new report. The killings occurred despite ongoing peace efforts, including Congo and Rwanda, with M23. Human Rights Watch says violence has remained alarmingly high in Eritrea territory. M23 has previously denied involvement in the killings and didn't respond to the latest allegations. However, the government of Democratic Republic of Congo condemned the attack and stating to fight such terroristic activities. Democratic Republic of Congo is known to be amongst the richest countries with mineral resources. However, the citizens are unable to utilize their natural wealth because of the security issues. The trade volume between China and other Shanghai Cooperation Organization (SCO) member states reached $247.7 billion in the first half of this year, up 0.8% year-on-year, according to data from China's Ministry of Commerce. China mainly exports mechanical and electrical products, automobiles and auto parts, clothing and chemicals to other SCO member states, while importing mostly oil and gas, agricultural products, coal and mineral sands from them. Over the past 5 years, the trade volume between China and other member states has successively reached a record high of $512.4 billion in 2024, with a year-on-year growth of 2.7%. Meanwhile, investment in economic and technological cooperation have been progressing steadily. As of June this year, China's direct investment stock in other member states across all industries exceeded $40 billion. Investment projects have gradually expanded from traditional fields such as energy and minerals, metallurgy and chemical engineering and infrastructure constructions to emerging fields including digital economy and green development. Iran and Armenia have signed 10 memoranda of understanding on mutual cooperation during a key state visit by President Pezeshkian, aimed at enhancing the countries' relations. The documents were signed by high-ranking officials of the two countries following a private meeting between the chief executive and Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan in the Armenian capital Yerevan. The memoranda of understanding addressed diplomacy, economy, mines and industries, road and urban development, healthcare, environment, education, culture, social interaction and tourism. The trip took place following the conclusion of a United States-mediated agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan, which triggered warnings about Washington's interventionist intentions concerning the region. At the time, the chief executive identified those demands as respect for regional countries' sovereignty, respect for their territorial integrity, and opposition to any change in regional borders. Dear viewers, we are done to news prepare for the session, and now it's time for a quick recap of the major headlines. Tour to development sites in southern region. Greening campaign in the Amhara subzone. The M23 rebels killed 140 civilians in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. And trade volume between China and SOC member states increased. Ladies and gentlemen, that was all for tonight. Thank you for having us and have a blessed one.